Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be walking you through my literature review that I completed for this class. So my literature review is called Student Data Privacy in the Digital Age, Navigating Ethics, Laws, and Educational Technology. So this presentation is just going to be a brief highlight of the major findings and themes that I explored throughout my literature review. So just as an introduction, digital tools, AI, and obviously online platforms now play a huge role in K-12 education. They offer benefits like personalization and real-time feedback, but they also raise big questions about how student data is collected. The guiding question that I used for this review was, how do schools balance the benefits of innovative technology with the ethical and legal responsibilities to protect student privacy? So basically, just for some background and context to kind of give you some more information about the different laws. So there is a couple main privacy laws that we have, and one of them, and they are FERPA and COPPA. And they were created long before AI and advanced analytics existed. And FERPA doesn't fully address third-party edtech tools, and COPPA's 2025 update actually made compliance harder because it removed school consent provisions. Schools also use a huge number of digital tools, often without very strong oversight. So there's a obvious clear gap between the policy and the tech tools that students use every day. So I basically broke the literature review into a few different themes. And there's a lot of international perspective when it comes to this. So there is the GDPR, which is strong protections, consent, transparency, right to be forgotten, but it's still difficult for schools to fully implement. And a big global issue with this topic is that technology evolves faster than policy. So the first theme that I used in this literature review was ethical and legal complexities of analytics and AI. Basically, learning analytics and AI can help personalize learning, but the research shows inconsistent consent processes under unclear data ownership and the risk of algorithm bias. So there's a few tensions with that. Some scholars warn that surveillance is becoming built into digital systems. Others argue that with clear ethical governance, analytics can be used responsibly. This tension is at the heart of the privacy challenge. You also have things like outdated laws versus advanced tools, innovation versus equity. So theme 2 is digital citizenship and student agency. And basically it talks about how students also play a role in the privacy protection aspect. Many of the students in the literature express concerns about the privacy, but they still overshare online, which is something called the privacy paradox that I talk a lot about in my literature review. Digital citizenship education can reduce the risky behavior. The articles in the literature suggested that that privacy needs to be taught not just as good online behavior, but as a rights-based skill students actively understand and practice. Theme 3 was privacy-aware instructional design. Being able to use principles like universal design for learning, researchers show that we can create digital environments that are both accessible and privacy protective. The key idea is data minimization, collecting only what's necessary for learning and not everything a platform wants. Theme 4 is, and this is kind of a theme that I added when I was writing my literature review because I kind of felt like it was important to tie it into the teaching aspect of it. and basically that is policy and teacher practice. And it highlights practical challenges that teachers are facing. So even when these policies exist, teachers often lack training in the data privacy, the security, and the vetting of EdTech tools. Districts struggle to oversee the sheer number of apps used in the classrooms, and the laws that are strong aren't enough, and educators need professional development and clear guidance to put these laws into practice. And this kind of ties into Ed Law 2D and how Ed Law 2D just became a thing. So districts are having to really watch what platforms they're using to support their students. So kind of just like to wrap up the discussion component of it. When you look across the themes that the literature provided, it points to a very multi-layered solution. You need ethical governance of analytics and AI, strong digital citizenship education, privacy-aware instructional design, and a policy paired with teacher training. However, the gaps still do remain. The policies are outdated, teacher preparation is inconsistent, AI in K-12 education is still emerging. Balancing innovation with student rights requires ongoing collaboration and attention. So that's just kind of what needs to kind of happen and how this needs to go in future directions to make this more ethical and legal in terms of the privacy for our students. And just to wrap up, protecting student privacy isn't just a legal requirement, it's an ethical commitment. By combining strong policies, informed students, thoughtful instructional design, and well-trained teachers, schools can create digital learning environments that are both innovative and safe. I really hope that you enjoy my literature review and my presentation.